Why, hello there. What's up? What's going on, everyone? We're gonna do some more enreco studying tonight. Oh my god, I can't. Dude. Friggin' Lady Bloodflame and Narissa Juliet. I'm actually going insane. I can't. I'm going insane. Why is she acting like this? Why is she acting? Why is Narissa Juliet doing this? I can't figure out what her intentions are, and it's driving me insane. Like, I feel like it's a riddle that I can't solve. And I don't understand. Oh my gosh, give me a second. No, because, like, okay, the day one, I was like, well, okay. This is all fine. This is alright. But then day two is when the bell sound started happening, and if you've seen Liz's point of view, you know what the bell sound is. And I'm going insane. I don't know why Narissa Juliet's over here manipulating Lady Bloodflame, or what her intentions are, or if she has good intentions, or if she's bad intentions. Hi, Atlantic. Because it's like, I'm just gonna read the thing that I wrote. I'm gonna read the thing that I wrote out loud before we do this, but hold on, let me do this. Hold on. Loki lost count, it's probably something like that. Okay, I'm gonna read this thing out loud that I wrote. This isn't all of it. This is only what I had for day 2. I'm so scared for day 3 tonight. So do you understand a good chunk with the study? I understood a good chunk, yeah. I feel like the studying didn't really help. Not really. I feel like just most of it, because I'm watching, Elizabeth's point of view, and I already knew most of her stuff with Narissa. I feel like that helped a lot. So, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this out loud. This is just what I wrote for day 2. Narissa Juliet is definitely casting spells on Lady Bloodflame, but I can't tell her intention because she shows so much affection to Lady Bloodflame romantically, and Lady Bloodflame is clearly feeling similarly about NJ, but sheltering/hiding her feelings from herself, but I can't tell what Narissa's intentions are. We're fairly certain the bell sound Lady Bloodflame hears is NJ casting a spell. But it was when she told Lady Bloodflame that if she wished, she could return to being a smith, and if it would make Lady Bloodflame happy, then she would prefer that Lady Bloodflame did. The bell sound rang, and Lady Bloodflame immediately went to change her profession to a smith without hesitation. And just a second ago, from when I was writing this, just a second ago, Lady Bloodflame said she had to finish something before she joined Narissa for a quest. But then the bell sound rang, and she said, actually, I can finish this later. No good other way to describe it. Narissa is very much interested in Lady Bloodflame and is casting spells on her for some unknown reason to make Lady Bloodflame follow her command, or just low-key be down bad for her. I don't know how else to put it. What are Narissa's intentions with casting these spells on Lady Bloodflame? She also just likes messing with her, giving her gifts, like flowers and rings, but I don't think that's related. I do not doubt that Narissa is in love with Lady Bloodflame, and I do not doubt that while sheltering her feelings, that Lady Bloodflame feels the same way. I do not believe Narissa has ill intent against Lady Bloodflame. However, I am worried that if found out, she may grow distrust against Narissa for casting spells on her, since it is a secret Narissa's keeping from her, even if she has no ill intent. So that's sort of some rambling I wrote. That's just some of the ramblings that I wrote around day 2, and and day 3, don't even get me started on day 3. my god. I don't even want to talk about day 3. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, I was working on the drawing, so I guess I can put that up on my screen. You guys, it might be pretty easy to tell who it is. If, well, I guess maybe not, but... Oh my gosh. There was this one art, and also, I don't know, Balsa, well, it's Elizabeth and Narissa, I'll tell you that much. Also, I'm going freaking insane. Okay, with Shakira's dead, out of context, for people who are watching this out of context, the singer Shakira is not dead. No, Shakira as in Kiara. Shakira as in Enreco Shakira. But she's dead. Roa's crashing out. So there was the whole thing with Roa and the sheep. Roa, she escaped the Matrix. She found the sheep. She's part of the Illuminati now, or something like that. Roa's going insane. She keeps saying that she's not crazy, but I don't believe her. I mean, after her wife died, she kind of spiraled and lost it. And anyways, so I'm gonna do a drawing. Oh my god! Yeah, what I was talking about. There was a crazy drawing this one person on Twitter did that I see them talk about like Hololive stuff all the time. And freaking, because Shiori in the church, Shiori held a funeral and she put Kiara in a box hanging from the ceiling. And so someone drew Shakira being crucified, and it was a really cool drawing. I feel like I'm going insane watching this. Okay, chat. Anyways, anyways, I get really upset just talking about it. I wouldn't even say upset. I just feel like I don't know what I'm feeling. There's so much happening, and I don't know how I'm supposed to react, because there's so many different things. Did Bijou kill Shakira? We don't know. Was it Morden Ramsey? We don't know, but who did? We don't know who did it. I think it's Bijou, but I don't know. I haven't looked at her POV. What's Narissa planning? What's she plotting? And then the tree scene with Gigi being like, you don't look like yourself, and Narissa listening in. This is what it feels like to go insane. I'm genuinely, I don't know what to think of anything. I don't know what's happening. Why do I sound like I'm crying? I sound like I'm crying. Anyways, I'm gonna play the combo before I get back to my drawing. Oopsie. I don't have my book here. I just realized I don't have my kalimba book here, so I'm kind of useless without it. Oh my god. I can't. That's how I'm feeling. I don't even have anyone to talk about this to. The worst part is I don't have anyone to talk about this to. I've been talking in the VTuber chat to myself in Logan's server, and then in the auto server, the VTuber thread. None of them are okay. They're either not interested in enreco or they're watching other POVs, so they don't know what I'm talking about. Or they are, and they're just not as invested as I am. The point is, I don't have anyone to talk about this to. So this is me. I've been talking to my mom about it, but I've been trying to talk to my mom about it, but she doesn't care. It's like she's trying to act like she does, but she doesn't. She doesn't care. I told her Shakira died, and she's like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." And I read her all of my notes, and she's like, "Okay." I think that's literally what she responded with. Like the letters, okay. I low-key feel like that with F1. Literally none of my family or friends watch, so I'm just... Bro, talk to Turbo. Turbo's not here. I can message her. Turbo is a really big F1 fan. Oh, my mom's awake. She must have heard me talking about her. I hear her. Must have heard me gossip. She knew I was gossiping about her. Also, ads beginning in 30 seconds. I feel like I'm going insane. Rip me then in 30 seconds. Yeah, you'll be back though. It's okay. It is okay. Is Kiara still live? No. If she's not at the top of my following list, then she's not still live. Amelie's live though. I'm just curious. I'm just looking around. Oh yeah, so we're only going in for another 2 hours today, just because I need to, you know. You know. Day 4. I'm so scared. I'm so scared for the next couple days. Literally, I'm so scared. I'm so frightened. Oh yeah, Robert is going insane. If they don't know the truth like Roa does. Also, Narissa's also been going insane, but I don't know how... I don't even... Wait, I need to watch this video. Hold on, chat. I need to mute real quick. They make me sick. I know, it was a thing. When you see the way that Narissa treats Lady Bloodflame now, please remember that this is how she used to be, and it was the freaking thing back from season 1. Season 1? Season 2? Season 1. Season 1. It was season 1, wasn't it? Oh my god! I can't to get off of this app. It brings me nothing but pain and despair. Anyways, it was a thing about in season 1 when Jonathan made Nerissa say that if Elizabeth didn't tell them the plans of the king, that if she didn't, that she would say that she hated her, and she had to say that she hated her, and then the next day, she just called Elizabeth sobbing, and I was like, Elizabeth! It was that freaking video, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this. Hi. What's up? Been in Discord call for 15 hours now, and no one has joined once. Godly! That's like a long time. Oh my god. Wait, no, I need to go into videos. I need to look at the... No, I don't want to look at art of them. I don't want to look at art of them, but I need it as a reference. 4 hours than here on Nora's life. That's not true. One of these days I might just start crying. Oh my god. I don't even know if I can work on this right now. I might just need to get to reading. I feel like I'm tweaking out. Oh my god. I don't even know what to do. Bum, 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 bum. Are you magmaing it? What about magma? I'm magmaing it. Oh my god, I feel like it feels so weird, like just holding up my iPad and typing into the search browser, freaking searching this up. It feels so weird just searching things up on an iPad. I don't know why. Lady Bloodflame, enreco. Or should I do Nerissa first? No, I don't want to go into Reddit. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I finally found the space in my PS5 downloaded HSR completely. 163 GB is so fat, it barely fits. Oh my gosh. I don't want to look up a picture of both of them. No! Wait, this is from a couple this is from me at 9 hours ago. Stop it. Leave me alone. Make me sick to think about. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm about to burst into tears at any second. I don't even know why. I have a picture of each of them separate. I am! But it's still bringing them up. 18 hours ago. No! 6 hours ago I saw that. Do one, then the other. That's literally what I'm doing. I'm searching them up separately. But it keeps bringing me pictures of both of them. And I don't want to see that anymore. I just need a picture of what her outfit's like. I don't think it's anything different than with a freaking cape on. But I can't even find a good... I don't know. I don't know what emotion I'm feeling. I feel like I'm going insane. Ow. Meaning Argentina would help. No. No. I guess that's a pretty good one. Yeah, her hair is covering part of it, but that's not really that big of an issue. Okay, you guys don't get to see the reference because it's next to me on a different device. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay, come on. Crop that. This is from like a long time ago, though. This is from... It really wasn't. I don't know when this is from. I might say My Beautiful Night All Mine because it's a different thing. I don't know. It's a different... I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I'll get her cropped here so I can see her. Oh, it's a cape, not a... Wait, that's what I said. I don't know if that's the text I'm gonna have in there. So I might as well just erase it now because I don't know. I'm gonna have it's gonna be something along these lines, but I'm not sure what yet. But it's gonna be something along these lines. But I'll decide that later. You know what? I'm not gonna be drawing for too long on stream anyways because I'm gonna because I need to do my reading. It's because she's a knight. This girl. Even though there's nothing about her yet. I'm about to fix that. But this girl, she's a knight. Yeah, that's our Discord. Wait, I need the other picture as well. Because I've drawn her from a side profile before. Second time I've drawn Elizabeth from a side profile. I'll make this a new layer. And I'll do it in red. For Lady Bloodflame. Bow. Down. Bow. Bow. How do you draw, like, hair pieces from the... Like, how do you draw bangs from the side? I've always wondered about that. I don't want to open Twitter back up just because I don't want to cry. But I might need to. Oh, no. It's all I'm seeing. It's all I'm seeing. Everything will be okay. No, Game Boy, watch out. This is, I'm gonna get so distracted. I don't want to look at this anymore, but this is, someone said, everyone before enreco 3, make Lady Bloodflame suffer a painful, horrible death. Everyone after 3 days of enreco 3, oh, please stop. She's had enough suffering, set her free. Death is less painful than whatever is happening to her, dude. Me when I reap what I sow. Oh my god, my dog deletes that only word. I might not. I need a... I hate this. I hate this show. Can I say that? I hate this show. I hate this show. How do I draw Airbnb from a side profile? Oh, and also with Narissa singing Shakira earlier. What LBF tired is which sat on a throne. Not even halfway yet. This EP is scaring me. Everything's scaring me. I'm sorry, Morden, but I'm locked into my Doom Fury. I can't find. I need to find. I need to find something, and I might not. So I might just need to go to reading if I can't find it right now. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh my god. My For You page is filled with doom and despair. Cosplayer to collab with for NYC. I hope you find one. Okay, so I guess it's supposed to be like. Sort of like, go out a little bit. Like that. Oh. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I hope you found one. I hope you find one. It probably doesn't need to be that far out, actually. I'll change it, but... Can I continue to draw more next Blade X non-hang Zamblade fans? Perhaps. Not that good at drawing. I don't know if you know that. Wait, is this on the same layer? No. So I can just move it. Hey, for real? Is it on the same layer? Or is this on a different layer? Oh, how wonderful! It's on the different layer. Oh, that's beautiful. I could ask you to make him guess. Perchance. Perchance. Perhaps. Ooh. You can't just say perchance. Actually, it's on a different layer. I can just do this. That's really nice. Wait, is her bang on one of those things that go up? What's like that? Oh, but yeah, there's sang My Hips Don't Lie on karaoke yesterday. Shakira. In honor of Shakira. In honor of Shakira. Shakira. I don't know if I'm gonna draw faces or not, so I might just go like, oh, that was the wrong button. Wait, guys, let me just go like, looks like she's blushing, but she probably is, honestly. Wait, since my flow isn't all the way up, oh no, I'm messing with things. Since my flow isn't all the way up, does that mean, okay, so 23, let me remember that number. No! I need my flow to be all the way up. Okay, there we go. Now it'll be more hippie. Excuse me. Okay. Shakira. Okay, so she has her dying. This is what this stupid show does to me. This is what this stupid series does to me. What to crash out. Erm. Herb. Instead of it's herb. Ooh. Oh, that's golly. It was at 23. I remember that because I don't like that number. It's a weird number. So it's gonna be like, no, it's higher up. No, it's like right there. Pardon. And then it's like, where's the picture? No, where's the? Oh. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. Okay, that's fine. Oh, and then her cape is gonna cover up that part of her arm, actually. Where does the cape, okay. Oh, so it's like that. Okay. Cape. Cape. Collar. There we go. There we go. I'm not sure if we're gonna have Nurse's hand under that piece of hair or over. So I haven't decided yet. Shakira, Shakira. I'm gonna be doing that. I hate this. And then I'll just start with Nervous's hair just because I don't really want to deal with. No, you know what? Screw you. I don't want to do this. I'll do this later. I'll finish this later. Where's my enreco tab? I favorited it. Where is it? Oh, you're joking. You're joking. No. Are you being self-real right now? No, wait. No, you're joking. No. No. Copy. Please tell me it's saved. Please, I'll do anything. Please tell me it's been saved. Yes! Chapter 3, day 2. Oh no. Wait, is this day 1 or day 2? Oh, that's day 2. Okay. I kind of just want to go over what's happened this chapter. Hold on, let me turn this music down real quick. Okay, let me pull this up. And we'll start reading the stuff just so you guys can understand where I'm coming from here, okay? Just so you guys can really understand. Okay. Okay. Where do I even start, right? And then once we're done reading this, because I also want to see what, like, everyone's been up to, but yeah. Okay, I guess we're starting with Fuawa. Okay. The other ones are down here. I want to see where's the... Oh my gosh! Okay. Fuawa. Oh, actually, I should read the just overall of the day. Overall of the day. We've been to a fabricated Lebestel, journeyed through the ancient real Lebestel, and even managed to save that ancient kingdom. Though the ending was far from kind to the people involved, still the kingdom was technically saved nonetheless. So what would that kingdom look like now after returning to the present? That is the setting for this third enigmatic journey. That's a bit loud. The music's a bit loud. Turn that down a bit. Lebestel still stands alive and thriving, but the very threat everyone fought so desperately to stop in the previous journey now roams free, the outsider. Somehow, he too has reached the present-day Lebestel, and so Fia's new objective became clear: find the outsider here, and once and for all, prevent the destruction of the universe with the hero's help. But conflict had already begun to take root. By now, some of the heroes... Oh, I also need to change my category. Is there a reading category? I guess not. So we're just gonna go with studying again. I need to turn this music down. It's not loud for stream, but it's loud in my ears. And then I can turn it back up for stream. It can go up a little bit higher. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Conflict had already begun to take root. By now, some of the heroes had started questioning Fia's judgment, and several chose to turn their backs on her entirely. Those who remained loyal became known as the Shining Stars, while those who abandoned her became the Rebellion. Who is right? Who is wrong? No one truly knows, but one thing everyone does know is that chaos on the very first day is practically inevitable at this point. Interestingly enough, everyone seemed to retain their memories from the previous journey this time around. No sudden hit on the head and wake up with amnesia nonsense anymore. Because of that, things had changed. Some relationships were healed, while others remained just as bitter as hateful as before. Yet, even then, things were far from predictable. New conflicts emerged from bonds once thought unbreakable, and unexpected choices were made by the very people no one imagined it would make them. No one could truly tell how any of this would end. And guess what? Someone's pregnant. Yes, again. Oh, that's not impressive yet? Fine, let me make it better. The baby is dead. Still not impressed? Seen this already with the pink woman who somehow gave birth to gas in the last chapter? Well, this time the mother is dead too. Gone, poof, murdered, vanished forever alongside the Goo Goo Gaga. Now that's drama. Shakira! There wasn't even a birth party this time. Shakira! They still have the exact same job system as before, but who cares about any of that when there's fresh tea and absurdly spicy drama waiting to be devoured instead? So true. Okay, gang. We'll start with Fuawa. Bow bow! The soft call rang out, filled with wonder and confusion alike. She's joined the rebellion. A voice just so gentle that simply listening to it felt like being wrapped in a warm, fluffy blanket. Fittingly enough, it belonged to the fluff incarnate herself. Fuawa was once again setting out on a brand new journey. She greeted those around her with the same sweet, gentle demeanor as always, which felt almost unexpected. At the end of the previous journey, she and the other members of Advent, the rebels, the ones who stood against the kingdom, had been, for lack of a better word, rather menacing toward everyone else. But here she was simply Fuawa again, the hardworking owner of small, fluffy cafe. Though the rebellious side of her still lingered beneath all the fluff. When Nyx asked which side she intended to join in this new kingdom, Fuawa immediately chose the rebels, hoping to stand alongside the people she held closest to her heart, Shiori, Mokoko, and the others. Last time, she had worked as a chef. but this journey called for something different. Perhaps a smith? Faction chosen, job decided, and heart overflowing with excitement and curiosity, the fluffy one prepared to venture forth. Or at least that was the plan, before her steed somehow slipped from her grasp entirely. Not exactly the greatest start, but Fuaba was not deterred. Walking was good cardio after all. The new kingdom felt similar to Lebestal from her first journey, yet at the same time, it was filled with unfamiliar sights, new quests, new jobs, new region to explore. Fuaba approached all of it with endless wonder and glee. Though one place stood out from the rest, the prison at the end of infinity, Terminus. Needless to say, Fuaba found the place deeply unsettling. Her fluffy demeanor was never suited for someone designed to keep others locked behind bars, stripped of freedom. The prison felt impossibly vast, yet suffocatingly small for those trapped within it. But perhaps the discomfort came from something deeper. As somewhere in the back of her mind, she could also remember what it felt like to be imprisoned herself. After enduring the tasks required there, alongside many screams and a healthy amount of trauma, Fuaba escaped the prison as quickly as she could, returning instead to the more familiar, fun, and calm shenanigans the kingdom had to offer. The new smith continued tackling task after task, getting overwhelmed many times along the way. It was difficult, especially since she handled most of the work alone, but Fuaba refused to give up. She simply kept working hard, one step at a time, because alongside her determination, there was another thing warming her heart: a shared roof kindly offered by Shiori. And so, after a day that swung wildly between rebellion, confusion, terror, and fluffy calmness, Fuaba finally called it a night. From the intimidating rebel scene at the end of the previous chapter to the soft and comforting fluffy girl everyone knew so well, she remained unmistakably herself in the end. Sick. Alright, let's go with Lil Witch Mokoko! And rebellion. She knew she couldn't trust that dang cat. After the rise of the outsider, tensions were at an all-time high, and Mokoko was no exception to such an atmosphere. Fia's speech was one that would fall on the fuzzy one's deaf ears as she paraded around the library, making sure her lack of faith in the plushie was heard loud and clear by all of those around her as they made their journey across the stairs. And who better to hear her worries than our beloved sister and protector? Elizabeth. Although, despite all her distrust, she still played along with the little memory game that was proposed, focusing on memories that really mattered to her. Her riches, her jewelry. Whether her reminiscence contributed to the success of this maneuver or not, Mokoko would soon find herself in yet another new version of the Kingdom of Lebestal, much like everybody else. After allying herself with a new face called Nyx for the time being, Mokoko was told she had to get a job, much like last time. And, well, she really likes jewels, her answer was clear as day. But before she ventured out to work, there was still a dire problem to be resolved. How could she be a little witch without a good hat? Phew. With her new hat atop her head, Mokoko headed out to take care of business, mining a lot of ore, squabbling with others, crafting some gems, getting herself lost. That was, until she found herself in a street filled with empty houses. A brilliant idea came to mind. She could become a homeowner. All it takes is changing the words and a couple signs, apparently, which means she was now the proud owner of not one, not two, but 3 different houses. It wasn't long after her acquisitions that chaos would quickly unfold. As Mokoko heard simply terrible news, Shakira had been killed. She'd hear wails of grief and accusations being thrown all around her. Even if Mokoko herself fairly quickly moved back to one of her quests and escapades, she arranged proper housing for her trusted ones before having a meeting with the Star Speakers where she technically tells them the truth about herself. Yippee, loopholes. Departing from the castle after getting lost in it again, Mokoko would take some time exploring the rebellion's hideout, being very interested in their supply-gathering quests. She had found her calling, for treasure. From then on, it wouldn't take long for her to discover the prison of Terminus. She was pretty casual about this too, honestly. She happily spoke with the locals and unlocked access to the Labyrinth of Knowledge, even if she wasn't supposed to be there yet. Oops. Oh, Shakira. Literally. Yeah. Shakira. With others around her settling down for the night, also high summer. Lebestal's little witch decided to follow suit inside her personal comfy abode. There was a lot on her mind, but as she gazed at the shining light of the sunset beaming in from the outside window, she hoped to see more of the light when she woke up. And if she didn't, she could make her own. She was still both the only jeweler and real estate agent in the kingdom, after all. Oh, I can't wait to read. I can't wait. Oh, we're going to Elizabeth first, and then we're going to Shakira. Rebellion number. The journey thus far had been a strange one, to say the least. First, and I watched this full VOD live. First, they had been brought to a kingdom under the pretense of saving it, only to discover it was all a fabrication created by an evil being that deceived them into setting it free. Then came the desperate attempt to travel into the past to stop that very being from ever coming into existence. They failed, and now they found themselves once again within a library drifting through time and space, surrounded by others trapped in the same predicament, alongside a talking cat plushie. It sounded like fiction, a bizarre one, certainly. Immediate ads. Oh, that sucks. That's annoying. It sounded like fiction, a bizarre one, certainly. Yet, through all of these rapid, overwhelming changes, one thing remained steadfast within the Scarlet Maiden: the duty of a knight. I just realized you guys can't see the entire screen. Which I might need to fix. Hold on. Like, I see where it's cut off there. It should be control. No, not quite. Well, actually, that works too. You know what? That works too. Shakira. There we go. Now you guys will be able to see it. To care for others, to protect others, because to Elizabeth they meant everything. Despite her unease regarding this current situation, Elizabeth immediately checked on her comrades to ensure they were safe. Mokoko, her beloved sister, was the first to greet her. Lady Bloodflame, overjoyed her to see her, showered her with affectionate head pats. The next person she sought out was someone even closer to her heart. The one who guided her when she was lost. The one who stayed by her side during her lowest moments. The one she considered her dearest friend, Shakira. The one who guided her when I already read that. What? The two spoke briefly, and because Lady Bloodflame trusted her so deeply, she confided her lingering uneasiness about leaving behind the world they once knew. More importantly, she questioned whether Fia could truly be trusted at all. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of the one person capable of shaking Lady Bloodflame's world more than anyone else. Everything they had experienced together thus far, the pain, the memories, the feelings tangled between them, was complicated. The Scarlet Knight had many things she wished to ask Nerissa, many things she wished to say, but more pressing matters stood before them, and so she buried those thoughts away for another time to see. My lip, that's so... Still, one important thing did emerge from our conversation with Nerissa and the others. None of them felt they could trust Fia, not fully. Perhaps it was instinct. Perhaps it was fear. Perhaps it was because Fia once stood beside the Outlander before he became the outsider. Whatever the reason, her words carried too much uncertainty to accept blindly. As Fia's knight, Lady Bloodflame remained by her princess's side. Yet, even she carried doubts. Eventually, the time came for the heroes to return to Libestal. 1,000 years has passed. 1,000 years had passed, and the kingdom was no longer the same place they once knew. Upon arriving, Lady Bloodflame is immediately confronted with a choice. Nyx, one of the citizens of modern Libestal, stood against the kingdom's system and sought to incite rebellion. After helping Elizabeth avoid an incident with the guards, Nyx presented her with an ultimatum: remain loyal to Fia or join the rebellion. And perhaps the most unexpected twist of all, Elizabeth chose the latter. Lady Bloodflame chose not to place her faith in Fia. Instead, she chose the rebellion. She chose to become Nerissa's knight. She chose to protect Mokoko. Elizabeth had changed tremendously since the beginning of this enigmatic journey. Once upon a time, she was the ideal knight, someone who upheld duty above all else, who existed solely to serve her ruler, but that version of her had already begun to disappear long ago, back when she cast aside the blade meant for her king and instead wielded it to protect the people she loved. And now, that change had become clearer than ever. She was willing to defy Fia herself for their sake. Gonathan, however, did not share her conviction. A fellow knight who valued honor and justice just as deeply as she once did, he was devastated by her decision. This time, Elizabeth chose to become a supplier, and just like the journeys before this one, she quickly found herself confused, not only by the mechanics of the job, but by the world itself. Still a dunce, it seems. She carried out her quests and duties as usual, and for a while, everything seemed relatively normal. Then the disaster struck. Nerissa called Lady Bloodflame to deliver devastating news. Shakira had passed away. The knight rushed towards the others, desperately hoping it was some sort of misunderstanding, but it was true. Her partner, her closest confidant, her best friend was gone. As she struggled to process the loss, Elizabeth suddenly thought of Roa, who was likely suffering more than any of them. She sought her out and found her utterly inconsolable. Roa had lost the love of her life. Their marriage had been short, but the love they shared was no less than real because of it, and even though Roa had once pursued Lady Bloodflame's heart herself, Elizabeth still chose to comfort her during her darkest moments, reassuring her that she was not alone. Perhaps those words helped. And somehow, despite everything, Lady Bloodflame continued onward rather quickly for someone who had just lost a person so dear to her. Or perhaps that was just simply what knights did. Or perhaps it was all she knew how to do. But what awaited Lady Bloodflame next? Oh, as the day continued, tasks were completed, old friendships reconciled, a new home established, and difficult choices made for the sake of her princess and her sister. But what awaited Lady Bloodflame next? Were the choices she made truly the correct ones? Or would they lead her towards something far darker than she had experienced before? Only time would tell. Shakira! She was part of the Shining Stars and she died! Shakira. Anyways, why do I sound like I'm crying? I'm not, I promise. I'm not actually. Anyways, oh, she was a smith. I didn't realize that. Back in the mysterious white room, Tanakisha Kariya found herself awakened once more. This time, it didn't feel too different for her. For one, she was able to recognize some familiar faces such as Lady Bloodflame, Roa, and Morton Ramses. These were the people she knew she could trust. New adventures awaited her. The Orange Phoenix reclaimed the name Shakira, an old name of hers that was short and sweet. To pair with that, she also returned to the smith job, as that was what she was best at. What was also sweet was her reunion with her wife. If there was one thing Shakira wanted, it was to have children. That was an opportunity that was when an opportunity presented herself. Shakira was offered a guaranteed chance of bearing a child. All she had to do? Eat a cake! That's all she had to do. After she explored the lands and completed side quests, she was finally able to acquire that sweet, sweet chocolatey slice of magic. What a wonderful day, Shakira thought. What a joyful day, Shakira thought, as she climbed up the town's fountain, standing literally on the top of the world. Everything seemed... Hold on, I gotta do something. Ah! Oh! Okay, sorry. Oh, did it send? Okay. Where's my chat? Okay. Standing literally on top of the world, everything seemed to have gone well for her. She had great friends, a loving wife, and a potential future raising a family. What could possibly go wrong? That cake. That dang cake. Immediately, the phoenix's throat tightened. As if she was strangulated by a rope around her neck, she choked and fell to her knees, trying to gasp for air. All she faced was a sharp, cold breeze when all the background voices and her sensations faded away. The cake itself tasted rancid and bitter, which contrasted with its sugary scent. And so, Shakira plunged into the fountain water below. Tanakisha Kariya of the Oranges was dead. Wait, I've seen this one before. This cake looks so good. It's a special recipe. I haven't tried it before, so it might have some kick to it. What the? Shakira. Peasant the Bay. A rebellion member. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna start crying. Trapped in a familiar white box with faces that the Peasant Bay actually remembers. Something stirs within her as she witnesses the reunion of brothers, friends, Bay's own brother, and Immerkind. Once again, Bay finds herself in Fia's library as the unwilling hero of Lebestal. Words flowed out of her, a message from above, reminding her and her companions of their place in this world. Hesitant, but not entirely unwilling, Bay takes up her dice once again. Witty, daring, charming, and more importantly, so to me. Bay was immediately smitten, a way to get over Immerkind, and when the stranger Nyx extended her hand, a way to escape the hero title, Bay took it. Was this the right decision? Only time can tell. Elated by this revelation, Bay quickly called Gonathan to tell him of the good news. To her dismay, her brother in all but blood had a different opinion. But despite the disagreement, Gonathan does cherish the peasant deeply, even encouraging her of her bright future. And questioning Bay goes on again, regaining her might and experience, she mines ores and slays the stains that run the kingdom of Libesto once again. She'll become the richest peasant across the land, with perhaps a few mishaps along the way. Eventually, Bay is dragged back into the plot. She must learn a secret to sell a guard, and so, with that important question in mind, the peasant went fishing. But outside of fishing, it seems drama stirs within the Shining Stars and rebels as Bay witnessed an argument erupt. Bay bore witness to the Hot Pink One's tale of her relationship was in the last chapter. Back to the important part, fishing. The peasant journeyed far and wide, fishing in different lakes and rivers to find the royal fish, only to find she was lied to. She must use the lucky bait at night, but alas, stains and pufferfish intruded on her quest with nothing to show for her adventure. The peasant heads off once again, stashing her treasure beneath the lands before writing her days in her journal as she heads off for the day. Coin count, 2070. The peasant will be rich once again. Okay, I'm gonna look at this. Whoa, that's cool. I'm gonna look at that one. Not a knight, not a hero, not ever from the same world then. I'm a peasant. Oh, still a peasant. Wow. Oh gosh, time to read Roa's. Oh, I can't wait to read. Hello. Hi. Welcome in. Oh, I can't read. Crash out quest status. It's not alive or dead. Status widowed. Oh, no. I don't want to do this. That's her status. Oh, and her and her love were different factions, I just realized. Because she was a rebellion and Shakira was a shining star. Huh. They can get along. They can get along, but Narissa can't get along with anyone else. Who's a shining star? Anyways, Roa. Just Roa now. No Pandora, no Panthera, no fancy last name, no nothing. Simple, clean, easy to remember. That was all she needed as the big cat pounced her way into her third enigmatic journey. It was only the first day, yet she can only tell it was going to be a fun one. Just look at all the people around her. Familiar faces, cute and pretty ones, especially the ones she'd grown very fond of. Miss Tim or Tom or Tim or whatever, was here once again for her to endlessly tease. See, Tam Roa, so returning the skin. Then there was her hot pink master who always had and fed her sensually whenever they met. And of course, there were the others around her who had found her adorable and loved her dearly. She was a hard worker, choosing to become a smith, and even joining the good guys, the Shining Stars. Well, before she eventually decided to switch sides later on just because, she was originally a Shining Star. She took on quests. Great. I might just read the bottom part. ... Oh no. I just read, oh no. She spent her days getting into all sorts of fun with the other heroes. It was shaping up to be a wonderful time for Roa. But above all else, the highlight of her day was always the love of her life, the one who had pulled her from the depths of despair and helped shape her into the loving and lively cat she was now, Shakira, her wife. Shakira cared for her, Shakira loved her, Shakira gave her what no one else could, and Roa loved Shakira in return. Everything felt perfect! This new kingdom, this new life, it all felt like pure bliss. Until it all crumbled away when she least expected it. We will not go on to that. Status public enemy #1. Morden Ramsey is innocent. Morden Ramsey is innocent. You guys have to believe me. Morden Ramsey's innocent. You have to believe me. It's like the audio, please. You have to believe me. You have to believe me. Oh, she's a Shining Stars member. I didn't even realize that. I would have guessed her to go with the rebellion. There was a lot of distrust in the party of heroes. They flew forth toward the new Lebesto. Some were still shaken by what had happened prior, some didn't trust Fia and her words of guidance, and some distrusted the others among them, trying to get a hold of themselves in the madness. And then, standing by herself in the corner of the library, there was Morden Ramsay, someone who just wanted to cook. But of course, she wasn't going to abandon all the heroics. There were still worlds to save after all. But she'd be lying if she said that's all she's all that invested in the drama and discourse flying around. If someone's gonna be able to make a difference, it's some good flippin' food. After picking up her previous job as chef where it had left off, Morden quickly got to work, gathering ingredients for her to make her meals, already planning to rebuild her restaurant, yet once again, it was possible. But before that idea could come to fruition though, Chef Ramsay was approached by her good friends, Tanaki Shakaria, more widely known as Shakira, and Roa Pandora, and they had a special request for her. A couple wished for a fertility cake to be baked in honor of their recent marriage, as they both wanted Shakira to bear a child, much like how the hot pink one had recently. Morton smiled. She was happy to hear it, both for the lovely couple and for the fact that her work was being appreciated. I just wanted to see. She got to work right away, and making a chocolate cake really was no cinch at all. The trickiest part was adding the fertility aspect and limited resources, but her friends the Wolfpack helped guarantee she had just the right spices to make this work. Once the cake was finished, she'd place it in the safe chest and told Shakira of its whereabouts. Her first dish of the new world had been created, and she couldn't wait to see how the seeds of her effort would bear fruit. Those seeds sprouted faster than she could have ever expected. Shakira was dead? Dead? How? Complete and utter disbelief engulfed Morden expression as Roa's wails of agony filled the air. Her mind was racing. Shakira was one of the most resilient allowed. Did she have a chili allergy or something? Whatever it was, one of her closest friends throughout this journey was now gone, and she was left to deal with the ensuing thunderstorm. The cake was poisoned, they claimed. They thought this was likely too, but the madness only escalated when others started pointing fingers at the most likely suspect, Morden Ramsay herself. She tried to defend herself, but she couldn't even get a single word out. Caught in the middle of far too much for her to handle at once, Morden Ramsay fled the scene, screaming her anguish to the skies. Residing in the calmer atmosphere of the wilds, Morden attempted to push through her broken will, retracing her steps and vowing to find the true culprit of Shakira's murder. No matter what it may take, it wouldn't be easy, as for the rest of the day, almost everyone she came across pushed her away out of fear, anger, or whatever the heck Tam Gander was on about, but she wouldn't stop until she could avenge her fallen friend. Though she wouldn't be completely alone in this quest. Both Nino, Ina, and Gonathan promised to aid in clearing her name, as well as the widowed Roa, who was willing to hear out the other side of the story now that she's able to think more rationally. After splitting off from her, Morden begins to finally build her restaurant before calling it a night. The road she's made is paved with good intentions, and while she can't say she's all too excited to find out where her journey is going to end up leading her, she hopes to be able to help more people than she's harmed once it's all said and done. Good food will save the world, even if it's not my good food. Amen. Oh gosh, Sister Shiori! Let's do it. Shiori Nyabella is gone, and Shiori Novella, Sister Shiori to be exact, is here to stay. Now a sister of the cloth, Shiori is there for definitely not evil, even as she reconnected with her conspiring band of witches. Shiori even admired the stars of Morden Ramsay. As the witches and Morden conversed about being chefs once again, Shiori revealed that she would be a chef for picnics, a totally non-evil type of chef, reminiscing about the picnic from last week. Unless some of the food is poisoned, but Sister Shiori would never do that, of course. Nevertheless, mischief remains strong within Sister Shiori. She pulled Morden Ramsay along in helping a certain couple with their legacy. This went very well, as Kiara can attest later on. Was it Shiori? Did Shiori do it, I wonder? Did Shiori do it? It's amazing how time goes forward, yet rewinds. Another rebellion and another chef's hat sat on top of Shiori's sisterly veil. But dang, finding eggs is a true formidable task, as Shiori asked one person after another to find them, including a certain orange knight. The bot in my chat. Okay, it's gone. Thankfully, Juliet managed to lead the way to where they could hunt for chickens outside the castle gates. There, Shiori pondered whether they truly made a difference for the kingdom. In perhaps a brief moment of madness, she saw a cow as herself. Potato salad. Soon enough, Shiori found herself in an audience with the Star Speakers. They inquired about her origins, and Shiori, seeing them untrustworthy, lied. After all, too many years have passed, and the truth would have probably warped in her absence. Honesty has its prices, and at times it may be earned life. A hardened trait that seems to echo with those in Shiori's chosen faction. Sister Shiori entered Terminus, finding the place a little too familiar with its towering cells and iron bars. She told her fellow witches. Prisoner after prisoner trapped behind bars. Did perhaps Shiori do something that she forgot warranted a punishment? Strange that this is a memory that escapes her. In order to proceed further, Shiori must find a secret to tell the Constant. Shiori chose to call Gonathan. Is there something about the night that reeks of secrecy to Shiori? Perhaps her recent head trauma unveiled an intuition, even when the memory is lacking. Either way, Shiori asks Gonathan if there is a secret he knows that can help her. Soon enough, Sister Shiori happened upon 3 interesting riddles, solving them swiftly to reveal the entrance to an interesting labyrinth. Enlightened, Shiori would tell others to ask others, as well as to ask Gonathan about his secret in order to pass the quest as well. Shiori met with Shakira and Roa by the fountain in the town square to witness a joyful occasion. Children! They watched with bated breath as Shakira ate the fertility cake by Gordon Ramsay, only for Shakira to be poisoned! She fell into the water and drowned. As sister of the cloth, Shiori beckoned Morton Ramsay, the only suspect, to confess once Shiori finished her church, only for Morton to run away screaming innocence. But what is a sister without a church? Thankfully, Little Witch Mokoko, now a real estate agent, showed Shiori around, letting Shiori claim a few properties as her own. Soon enough, Shiori ventured forth to quest once more, inviting a certain kind knight to help her to another knight's dismay. Bijou would also find a home in Shiori's house, since Mokoko's monopoly in the housing market made it difficult for others to purchase their own home. My mermaid is in love with a marketable plush. As a sister of the cloth, Shiori must not kill and keep her prayer hands clear of blood, so Shiori invited fellow witch Bijou to accompany her on her quest and to slay Stains. There, Shiori learns that Bijou is being suspected by her sister and Gonathan for being the real killer and not Morton Ramsay. Shiori proposed a plan. It was somewhat successful, as others read the news of Shakira's death and the doubtful light cast on poor former therapist chef. Unfortunately, one of the readers, including the still grieving widow, Roa, who promptly burst into tears. After an eventful day, Shiori returns to Fia's library to record the events in her journal. She low-key evil. Oh. Do you have any secrets? The year is 2011. Just accept it. You killed her. You trying to say something about her? Would you like to be my first? Mark has read. Wait, did Miss... Oh, that was the only one. What about Roa? No. No, stop it. Knight Immerkind. Immerkind awakens from the slumber and is beset by temporary deafness. The events of the Bestial in the past few weeks left her feeling ill. She rushes over to Sister Shiori, where they temporarily confine each other away from the other shining star. Oh, she's a shining star, okay. Yeah, she is. I forgot. Yeah. The deafness eventually lifted after this conversation. The Shining Stars were teleported by Fia to the new Libestal, where Knight Immerkind was being recruited by mysterious Nyx. Taken back by the forwardness of the stranger, she politely declines as her heart stays true to Fia. Immerkind explores the familiar but different city when she encounters Tam Gander, the hot pink one, and Princess Bijou. She greets her fellow Shining Stars, who begin to question why they stayed loyal to Fia. Immerkind gets upon her horse and gallops away in dismay. Gonathan calls Immerkind, who tells her that he has found a treasure that she might like. There, they meet that, which leaves a critical puzzle for Immerkind that she looks forward to resolving. Immerkind mused that there can be no way the spire's job would be the same as before. After all, would it not make sense to choose a path she's familiar with in an unfamiliar world? She accepted the supplier position. How much? Okay. Immerkind. Oh yeah. She ventured forth to the fields to complete her jobs and ran into devious stains. Her search for lapis lazuli allowed her to run into many others toiling away in the mines. She learns from Gonathan that year is 2011, which triggers Immerkind to remember a critical fact. 2011, the time HBO premiered Game of Thrones. Writer's note, not sponsored. Immerkind chaperones Bijou back to the kingdom. There, they converse about the future. Despite going on two different paths, the princess and the knight continue to hold each other with high regard. Upon returning to the city, Immerkind finds a moment of fun and merriment with Tam Gander and Gonathan, where Immerkind excitedly explains the meaning behind her name. The banter continues and ultimately leads to a game of chance where Immerkind wins the cursed hat from Tam. As Immerkind continues to toy with her work, Sister Shiori calls and requests her services. They return to the cliffs where Shiori must slay several slimes. The sister offers a house for Immerkind to stay in. Immerkind and Mulls have a housing situation to crazy with most houses being held by Mokoko and Shiori. I know this song. I know this audio. I know this song. Despite being in opposing parties, they agree to stay together in a house, much to Gonathan's dismay, but that won't stop their friendship. My roommate is in love with a marketable plush. Immerkind departs her new dwelling and sets forth to the castle for audience with Fia. Immerkind takes a knee and confides her concerns about the people they are fighting. Fia argues her concerns, but she still has some reservations due to the people in the castle that she calls imposters. Immerkind travels to Terminus, where she encounters Tam and Gonathan. They mull upon the architecture and the denizens of the prison, pondering upon its music and the words muttered by one in a prison cell. Upon realizing the pain of Tam Gander in the letter, Immerkind returns the stained plush hat to Tam to help ease their pain, which caused Gonathan much sadness as Tam's memories were erased. The whiplash emotional events in the New Kingdom left Immerkind exhausted. She picks up her trusty fishing rod and departs to the nearest river, where Heroina saves her. They discuss the events of the day and how they are adjusting to this new world they found themselves in. Immerkind was inspired by the toils of the night and resolved herself to work harder to keep up. No, I think you missed the words said by prisoner. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's two numbers. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Immerkind ends the day by continuing to write her thoughts in diary and her desire to help with Fia, but with some reservations. Nerissa Juliet. Nerissa, my number one op for this season. Nerissa, when I catch you. Nerissa Juliet, when I catch you. Bah. Nerissa Juliet woke in the White Room, unsurprised by the strange phenomenon about to unfold again. It felt less like an accident now, more like something she had long prepared herself for. With her memories intact, she recalled briefly her adventures from the past, her pact with the other heroes, Shiori of the Nialvelas, Bibu, the Fuzzy One, and the Fluffy One, in particular, or as they fondly called it, the Rebellion. Among them, Narissa stood out as the conniving one, as if she had already had everything planned out. And so it turned out she was right. Fia couldn't be trusted at all. She weaponized the heroes' ignorance, their kindness, and their empathy to gratify her selfish desires. Destruction of the old Lebestel, the growing chasm between their friendships, all of these were her fault. Narissa decided from the very, very beginning that Fia must be stopped. It didn't matter if she would do it right this time. Her attempt to save the world must come to an end at once. And so, as the heroes gathered in the library, she remained observant, watching everyone's actions and talking with them to know their hope and aspirations for this new world. Then, she saw her knight. Of course, she had to test her. Would she be the loyal knight who swore, I don't know that word, to her? Or would she eat her words and betray her? There was only one way to know. To begin her plan, she must be familiar with this new realm. The architecture, the ways of the land, the people, all of it seemed familiar and yet different. She took the same job that she had in the ancient world, completed quests and unraveled secrets that may be the key to stopping Fia and the heroes who believed her lie. She explored and explored, traveling across the kingdom with haste thanks to the rebirth steeds. As Narissa gathered more information about this modern Lebestel, she stumbled upon Hika, who gave hints on one of the many peculiarities of this world, the anomaly. Without hesitation, the curious maiden sought to investigate. Her journey led her to a massive prison cell called the Terminus. She went around examining each cell in hopes of finding the mysterious person they were looking for. She ran into other heroes and inquired what they had learned so far. Heeding Shiori's advice, she called Gonith and asked for a secret. The year is 2011. It didn't seem to be a great secret, but somehow it worked. She was transported to the room she was searching for, and here the secret's read. ... Whoa. Oh, there's a second one. Whoa. Oh yeah, her ending screen! Oh, gang, what is happening? Gang, what's happening? What's going on here? Her starting screen for day 2 was so scary. Her starting screen yesterday had me so scared that I rightfully so. Alright, chat, we got an hour. Everyone else besides her fellow members of Advent had become her enemies, and Fia was no longer to be trusted. When she asked to choose her name, Bijou accepted the stain within her heart. She was now Bijou the Stained. Returning to the library, Bijou began reminiscing with the others about their last time in Lebestel. There, she met once more with her wooden shovel sister, Ninoina, their relationship becoming shaky once more. In order to find Lebestel in the present, the group needed to focus on their fond memories of Lebestel in the past. Bijou finds, however, that she does not have any such memories. All she remembers is chaos, pain, and darkness. In order to find Lebestel in the present, the group needed to focus on their fond memories of Lebestel in the past. Bijou finds, however, that she's not— oh wait, I just read that. What am I doing? Once rescued from the guards by Nyx, Bijou's attention had immediately been caught. When Nyx asks Bijou if Bijou wants to join their crew, Bijou immediately decides to join the rebellion. Which surprised no one. Absolutely no one. Being guided to get a job once more, Bijou decides she will not become a jeweler as she had before. She felt unappreciated for all the work she did for others, so instead she chose to work only for herself as a smith. Bijou also then chooses to accept her destiny by claiming her stained hat once more. Needing some iron to begin her smithing work, Bijou heads out to the field alongside Morden Ramsey. While traversing, Bijou hears from Morden about the Oh, I knew it! While traversing, Bijou hears from Morden about the fertility cakes she's making for Shakira and Roa. Upon her return from the field, this is perfect music for this, Bijou begins looking for this cake herself. Finding the cake in the fridge, Morden left in it, Bijou stains the cake, swearing not to speak of this to anyone. Present, when Shakira consumes the cake, Bijou internally goads Shakira to eat it. While still feigning concern as Shakira perishes following the accusations of Morden for having baked the cake, Bijou is pleased to know that her plan to make the others perish is working.
They will all fall by my hand.
When asked by the Star Seekers what she wants, Bijou lies, saying that she wants power in order to kill the others. Expectedly, they do not believe her, for this is a preposterous claim. They do still recognize her as a Starborn regardless. Despite not going to the Guild of Star Seekers as the Star Seekers instructed, Bijou still goes to investigate the anomaly, finding Terminus on the other side. For some reason, she finds herself uncomfortable with the mention of a prison. Regardless, she presses onward, meeting with Faust and accepting his deal, for he can be of use to her. Finding that she can progress no further, Bijou decides that it is time to work on further increasing her power, as well as a place to take up residence. Luckily, Shiori comes along to aid with both, with the two going on an adventure to gather materials to strengthen themselves, and with Shiori inviting Bijou to live with her in Immerkind. Bijou is hesitant at first, believing she does not need anyone else to live with, but when she is unable to acquire a house of her own, she accepts Shiori's offer. Mom, it was Bijou! She killed Shakira, it was her! She's the one who poisoned the cake! Yeah. I'm streaming, I'm reading for all the stuff for day one. Is it really hot upstairs? Oh, it's nice down here. It's gonna be cold? Oh. Upon discovering Morden Ramsey's restaurant, Bijou realizes that getting Morden on her side may be beneficial. Bijou thus offers to help Morden clear her name by taking on the dungeon together the next day, to which Morden accepts. Knowing that Morden is also investigating the true cause of Shakira's death, Bijou also hints to Morden that the cake could have possibly been poison left in the fridge, knowing that is exactly what she did to it. Bijou. Oh, Gonathan G. Gonathan. As the curtain rose on another chapter adventure, Gonathan G miraculously found himself in full possession of his memories from the past chapter, although not all of them were pleasant. The humble knight was not alone, however, he was quickly joined by the companions with whom he traded a few words, including Peasant Bay and Tam Gander. The latter generated some concern for Gonathan, as the Azure Royal had seemingly forgotten parts of her identity. But Gonathan had little time to dwell on this, as the heroes were soon thrust into a new but oddly familiar setting. Gonathan was shocked to find himself back in what seemed to be the Libestal of the present, 1,000 years after the kingdom he had become accustomed to in his previous adventure. He did not have time to take in the sights, as he was soon greeted by a strange purple-haired figure calling herself Nyx. She denounced the ruling Star Speakers and offered Gonathan a place at her side as a member of the rebellion. Mistrusting of one who seemed to be opposed to what he saw at the side of justice, Gonathan flatly refused. Alas, as he would soon discover that many of his former companions did not see things in the same way as him, including those he called his brother, and even his fellow knight, Lady Bloodflame. For now, though, Gonathan busied himself with preparations of his new role in the kingdom, accepting the role as a smith once more. He was tasked with crafting a number of upgrade stones at his first task. Upon entering the questing fields, he happened upon his fellow Wolfpack member, Immerkind. The two were overjoyed to be reunited and talked for a short time. It was then that Gonathan made a surprising discovery. It is currently the year 2011. Little did Gonathan know, this fact would become instrumental in the quest of many others, as throughout the day, many people would contact him asking to be told a secret, and each time he would reply with the knowledge of the date. The year is 2011. HBO has just debuted Game of Thrones. Coming upon a group of fellow adventurers, Gonathan was reunited with Morden Ramsey, his therapist. Following a cordial chat in which the two discussed their favorite eras, Gonathan once again encountered the elusive Tam. It was here that Gonathan learned the true extent of the Queen's trauma. Tam had obtained a stain that had seemingly corrupted her memories. Thanks to support from Immerkind, the humble knight was able to something. The blighted headgear from Wrench, the blighted headgear from Tam. Alas, this did not seem to alleviate the Azure noble's woes, and only after Tam agreed to check in with Gonathan did the humble knight feel reassured to return to his questing. Having fallen behind the main quest due to his need to provide support to others, Jonathan hastily made his way to speak to the Star Speakers. Despite their rude and condescending attitude towards the knight, he remained committed to assisting Fia in finding the outsider. It was here that Jonathan was contacted by Nino Ina, and the two reminisced about their days at the academy. The knight further encountered Princess Bijou, and after a rather strange encounter, Jonathan promised he would not give up on her. Jonathan, I have terrible news for you. Finally, Jonathan arrived at the Terminus quest. Seemingly unable to escape the pull of the drama, Jonathan was left speechless as Emerkind gave Tam back the stained hat, the queen's memories once more leaving her. Emerkind, realizing her mistake, promised Jonathan they would find a way to remove the corrupting hat once and for all, and suggested that a new pet would perhaps be the key to it all. The humble night's day ended with a quaint interaction with Roa, one that took a turn for the disturbing as the clumsy feline killed one of the horses that had been summoned by accident. Fleeing back to the kingdom center, Jonathan retired for the day. While the knight's first day in the strangely familiar land was not the most eventful, only time will tell what weird and exciting adventures lie in store. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that. What does they say? Oh, those are cute. Oh, that was fun. Mark is red. All right, who's next? The hot pink one. HBO. Oh boy, she's back. That pink menace, that shade whose footsteps alone would spark fear into those who heard them. The homewrecker of the first journey, the romantic chaos sower of the second one. She's here. The hot pink one is back for her third reign of chaos. And unexpectedly, she actually remembered most of the mental damage she caused others back in those journeys. A reunion is usually a warm welcome, but for the hot pink one, she was initially skeptical and somewhat nervous, actually. Her last journey ended on a bitter note. Her consort, the love of her life, Nino Ina, left her, and the other love of her life, Tam, rejected her entirely for what she did. She lost almost... Wait, I didn't know the... HBO and Ina were together. Wait, I didn't know that. She almost lost all her ties with them. And yet again, unexpectedly, maybe time had mended these fractures because Nino Ina was willing to reconcile with the hot pink one. The fuchsia looks bright. Amazing news for the hot pink one then. Even her pink cat still thought fondly of her, and her supposed brother Bijou too. Then does that mean Tam? Oh no. The moment she approached the Azure Maiden, a spit in the face was what she got. Seems like not everything can be mended by time. Well, it doesn't matter anyways. She had priorities, missions, as a hero with a mission to save the universe, not some commoner who would be sad of her broken relationships. After Fia explained the situation to everyone was thrown into what seemed like a future version of the Vestal. Without skipping a beat, she got straight into exploring this new kingdom. Her first major encounter with this kingdom's folks was with Nyx, who asked her whether she would be joining the rebellion of the Shining Stars. If you know this woman, you obviously know which side she's choosing. She then continued her profession as a chef, just like before, and started doing her quests, tasks, all that jazz. It was oddly calm. This first day, the hot pink one would do her tasks diligently, talk to passerby, and nothing too crazy happened. Well, one of these passerbys wasn't too normal. Okay, I thought she was rebellion, but I'm like, what if I'm stupid? What if I don't know her? During an interaction with Shakira, the big one learned the shocking revelation that Shakira was pregnant. With whom? Who knows? But what matters? With whom? Who knows? What matters is that there's a baby there. Goo goo gaga. Surely this information will become a catalyst for a crazier event later on. Well, just keep it in mind for now. Continuing on, she did quests. She explored a brand new area, a prison, where she got very confused navigating solving puzzles, but she got there in the end. Nice. Still a relatively normal day. Nick, oh my god, Shakira's dead. How did this happen? Such a tragic event. Someone murdered her? Morton Ramsey murdered her? What about the baby? It was a whole ordeal and everyone was talking about it. Such a fleeting interaction. Now she was gone. Well, what can you do? The death of the phoenix lingered in the pink one's mind as she wanted the kingdom to continue her tasks. She even called the supposed murderer, but not to address the allegations, rather to ask her how to make cake. That's how dedicated the chef was. Finally, after a long, chaotic day, she decided to call it a day, much earlier than the others, but it was still a crazy day nonetheless. Wow. Oh, Tammy, damn. Oh, that's cute. Wow. Yeah, she hasn't been back yet. I love that. It's nice. Still a relatively normal day. Next. Oh my god, Chikira's dead. Who's next? Nino Ina. Because all of these are the relationship ones. We have to do if we have time, we have to do the Kiara and Roa one. And then I guess maybe my Levestal. Maybe. Perchance. Anyways, Nino Ina. No, I clicked that. Nino Ina. Just once again finding herself. Oh, she's a Shining Star member. That makes sense, actually. Once again finding herself inside the white box, Nino Ina found herself riddled with emotion, intrigued, confused, and possibly most daring of all, hungry. It was surely fate that the first face Ina saw was that one of her own consort, the hot pink one. After a brief visit to Fia. Oh, I know this song. Oh, I remember this song. Involving the usual shenanigans, the heroes were thrust back into Levestal before immediately getting into trouble with some guards. Typical. But before she could get apprehended, Ina was quickly saved by a pink-haired Lebestian, the mysterious fellow that revealed herself to be Nyx, a member of the so-called rebellion, who informed Ina that they were open to welcoming her into their ranks, despite the tempting offer, and after a lengthy consideration through the voices in her head, Ina believed Fia's words true, and honest over Nyx, deciding to stay alongside her as a shining star. Nyx let Ina go off on her own way, with Ina turning her attention towards the job selection that Nyx mentioned. With her previous occupation as a jeweler, Ina considered something novel. Each job had its listing had its own intrigues, did I just see fishing? With her mind promptly made up, Ina chose the path of the supplier and began her tasks dutifully. During this, Ina bonded with Gonathan over their shared experience at the academy. Their bond was strong, even surprising Elizabeth, who seemed to misunderstand their pleasantries. I remember that was funny. After the lengthy process of obtaining an iron pickaxe, Ina set her sights on the castle that housed those whom Nyx called the Star Speakers. These four folk were intrigued by Ina's story and attire, claiming that the moniker of the Warrior of Stars had not been heard of in 1,000 years, and dubbing Nino Ina Starborn, tasked her with the investigating rift by the fountain. Despite the title, status, and quest, Nino Ina seemed to be leading towards a peaceful life this time around, one devoid of gotchas and drama alike, one where she could breeze through the day without much more than the thought of worry. The other heroes unfortunately didn't get the memo. Nevertheless, Ina found her way through the day's trials and ended up at a door that wouldn't open. That's it. It seemed that for now, her quest of the day had come to a close, and she had some time to kill. Her leisure began with the goal of obtaining a home of her own. There are plenty of houses around. There's no way they're all bought out, right? Well, that doesn't matter. Lack of available housing didn't stop her in the past, and it wasn't able to stop her now. And so she gathered up her materials and got to work, making a humble little shack by a lake. It wasn't much, but as the hero herself said, I don't need 3 houses to myself. Oh, I know this song. On to her next task, fishing. She understood the basics just enough, grabbed some bait, cast a rod, and fished a light eventually. Plain and simple, as Ina liked it. Unfortunately for Ina, a special challenge reared its ugly head. The River Prince. Oh my goodness. It began with passerbys inquiring Ina about this fish, leading her to try to find it. It wasn't until she met up with Immerkind that she was informed of its elusiveness. Not only was the River Prince exclusively caught at night, but you had to use a specific type of bait or else you were out of luck. It was a challenge, and after many sleepless nights and 40 whole minutes of fishing, the River Prince was real. The river princess what? Oh, that's cute. All right, moving on to, oh no, we still have Tam, okay. Oh, she's a shining star. I feel like it doesn't surprise me, but it also kind of does. Interesting, that's what I'll say. The Azure Queen returned to this kingdom that had traumatized her many times before, mostly from the many not so people around her. She even forgot she was a queen for a second before those around her reminded her. Maybe her subconscious was forcing itself to forget about those bad memories, especially the ones caused by her. And sure enough, she was also here, and Tam was not pleased to see. Tam was not pleased. That unpleasant face was here, but Tam tried her best to not pay it any concern, started her journey in this kingdom, a future version of the Vestal. Will she be queen against this journey? Will she be, what? Will she be queen again in this journey? Will she gain devoted followers as she did back in the previous journeys? That's what many might think this queen would be concerned about, but for Tam, she did not want any of those headaches again. She just wanted peace, to be alone, to be devoid of thoughts and anguish. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There's not that much. As she set foot into the kingdom, she was faced with a choice. Which faction would she join? The Shining Star of the Rebellion? Tad chose the former. She decided to be a supplier just like last time. All presets completed. It was time for her to embark on her new journey. New journey of old Tam. The ex-queen still had her harsh tone of speaking, even managed to make Immerkind run off crying with it. Still had her monotone, unbothered attitude towards anything and everything. Maybe the authority was gone, but the Tamness was still there. Even the one thing that made her a joke to other people, her name, was brought back. Her name wasn't even complicated this time. It's just Tam. No last name, no nothing. Yet it still became a laughingstock. By whom? Well, another pink, though Tam wished she could have forgotten. Roa. Ugh, so many people, so many distractions. Just let her be, dang it. Was what Tam thought to herself. Seems like her wish of having a quiet life won't be so easy after all. She continued her day by completing her quests, claiming she had amnesia everywhere she went so she could leave any interaction as soon as possible. Though, maybe some of the interactions were half bad, like her interaction with the one who always followed her everywhere she went, whom she could vent her deepest griefs to. Jonathan. I don't really think it was since today. She was so distracted by so many people that she hardly had a chance to do her actual tasks, be it with Shiori and Immerkind, and even Morton Ramsey, whom she wasn't too fond of, as she recalled this therapist might have ruined her relationship with the hot pink one. She lost her horse and had to beg the gods to give it back. She was even locked up in a prison cell just because she got the name of someone who wasn't even significant to her. So much for a peaceful, quiet life. Well, at least toward the very end of the day, finally, a bit of peace and quiet as Tam wrote her journey in a lone, secluded corner, documenting her woes. Oh. Golly. That's ominous. Spooky. I am no queen, wow. My best memory is not having any memories. Wow. Wow. Golly! Okay, guys. I don't need need to read the deal with these, right? I can read this, right? I can. Everything had been going well. It's fine. Hold on. I just went out in my kitchen to look for something, and there's a box of cake batter in my kitchen. Koseki Bijou, go away! No! No! No, not again! Right as I'm texting my mom. I just texted my mom. I said, why is there a box of cake batter? Did Bijou get into our house? It's Shakira's death all over again. Oh my gosh, that was scary. Anyways, relationship no longer together. Yes, they are. You have to believe me. You have to. No, come back. You have to believe me. You have to believe me. Shakira and Roa had been more than happy to see each other again. The cat and the phoenix walked hand in hand, two devoted lovers finally reunited. It had felt like forever since they had last touched each other, even if their separation had only been brief. The feeling of that had only amplified by the fact they were still in the middle of their honeymoon, having gotten married only a few days prior. My mom texted me. 100% unrelated. I don't believe you. I don't believe you! I don't believe you!
Seriously, somebody was telling you about a recipe.
I don't believe you! It's chocolate!
It's not.
It's not? Oh, but it's chocolate frosting. The cake that Bijou poisoned had chocolate frosting! It probably was! You don't know that! I'm the one who's been watching it. Yes, I do. Yeah. Are you gonna make cake? Why? Can you? Now I want cake. As long as you don't let Bijou go anywhere near it. I don't think that's too far. I don't think they use rocks. I think you should make it. Okay. Anyways, I'm back. The two, having gotten married only a few days prior, the two sought to continue their living together in peace. This was especially true for Shakira, who just really wanted to surf them with Roa. The previous attempts on Roa, but Shakira knew better than to give up. For once, her determination seemed to be rewarded. Offers of counseling and a cake that supposedly are a drama. Perhaps this really could have worked out. Slowly, the two became accustomed to their new life together. Roa had even been inspired to become a smith just like her wife. They rode their horses freely through the wind, took on their first quest together, and embraced every little moment they could share. Everything seemed well. Everything had been going well. Everything had been going well. It was going great. Everything had been going well. Something else inside beside the cake itself. What? Miss Shuri and Ron Ramsey offered the services regarding a delicacy known as the fertility cake. A chocolate cake said to guarantee the future birth of a child. The married couple opened the box and carefully took the cake out. There appeared to be something else inside the cake besides the cake itself, though Roa had been far too excited by the moment to notice what it was. Roa suggested that a cake like this deserved to be eaten somewhere special. Together, they decided the perfect place would be atop the fountain of the Vestal. As they climbed the mountain, several people gathered below to witness the occasion. Roa watched lovingly as her wife took a bite of the cake. Then, within a single fleeting moment, Shakira collapsed. Roa frantically rushed forward and tried to catch her, but she failed. The mighty phoenix fell straight into freezing water at the bottom of the fountain. Panicking, Roa immediately jumped in after her and desperately tried to pull her wife back out. She did everything she could to save her, even begging the people nearby for help, but no one could do anything except watch as the fire in Shakira's eyes slowly faded away. Roa cried until her eyes burned. Roa stepped away for a moment to gather herself. The big cat felt so unbearably small she stumbled into a nearby alleyway. Her hands trembled violently. She could barely even stand anymore. People from all around town came to check on her. Emerkind eventually found Roa and gently asked how she was doing. She tried to console Roa, reminding her of how she brought color and life to the people around her. Roa paused for only a moment before slowly standing upright once more. Then she told her the very same thing she would tell everyone else. She would avenge her wife. For justice. Biscuit, no! Oh, this is awful. Oh no. Oh no, it's so sad. Hi. My chicken patty? Chick-fil-A sauce. Yes. It's good. I'm reading more about, even though I watched it in the video, I'm reading more about, I watched it happen. I'm reading more about Shakira's death. And Roa's devastation. Maybe we haven't known each other very long, but every time I'm like, I know you're no! Who would do this? We want to create our happy ending together. We just want to create our happy ending together. Is that too much to ask? Oh, it's awful! It's awful! Awful! You know what? We completed all of day 2. I think that's a success, and I think I should go. Because it starts in 20 minutes, and I want to get my drawing in. I'll see if I can raid Amelie, but I don't think we can. But you know, we'll try. I don't know if she has raids on. That's the thing. If she doesn't, because Kiara was live earlier, but she's not anymore, so I can't raid her. And we're gonna just close that out right now, and then we'll. Boom. We'll just see if she even has raids on. / raid? I doubt it. We'll see. No. Okay. We'll raid. Oh, Sage is live. Cool. Raid. Subraid. Okay, you know what? Subraid. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. I'm gonna be working on my drawing of doom and despair of Juliet and Lady Bloodflame. Doom and despair. Anyways. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bow-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bow-bow. Bye-bye. Bow-bow. Okay.